Hi, my name is Mike Acosta, and welcome to the TurboStart DVD for the all-new MV-8800. This DVD is designed to get you up and running quickly and easily on your new machine. I'll be covering some of the basics on the following things.
How to start a new project. How to load up an instrument. How to assign instruments to tracks. How to record a sequence, make a beat. How to import audio from a CD and create a sample. And lastly, how to save your song or project.
Let's get started with a basic overview of the entire front panel of the MV-8800. The MV basically consists of 5 sections: controller, sequencer, sampler, mixer, and effects.
Controller section. This contains the velocity pads, sliders, and C control knobs. Sequencer section. This records the performance data from the controller section and the MIDI messages from an external MIDI device. Sampler section. A sampler is a device that captures audio from an analog input or imports a WAV file from a hard disk or CD and holds this data as waveform data in wave memory. Mixer section. This mixes the audio output from the sampler section, effects section, and analog inputs, and outputs the combined sound to the master outputs and to the headphones. Effects section. The sound from the sampler output and the sound from the analog inputs can be processed by the effects section in a variety of ways. Here's how to create a new project. Press the Project button. Select the Create New Project folder icon and press Enter. Now press F5 to execute. When asked to save the current project, press F1 for No. You'll now notice that your MV is in pattern mode, with 1 audio track and 1 MIDI track loaded up, but you can have up to 64 MIDI tracks in pattern mode and 128 MIDI tracks in song mode.
First thing we need to do now is load up an instrument, which we normally refer to as a patch. Remember, patches are the same thing as instruments.
Here's how to load a patch. Press the Instruments button. Select Part 1. Press the Menu button. Select number 3, Load Patch, and press the flashing Enter button. Select the Patches folder and press Enter. Now let's select the category folder, Drum Kits, and press Enter. Select the patch MV-8008 and press F5 to load. The Assign to Part box will appear. Make sure you have selected Part 1 to assign the instrument to and press F5 to execute. Now press the Pattern button to take you back to the main sequence page.
Now that you have the 808 drum kit on Part 1, make sure it's properly assigned to the MIDI track on the main sequence page.
Here's how to check track parameters. Select the MIDI track using the cursor buttons. Press F2 for track parameters. Cursor down to Output Assign, and make sure the MV-8008 instrument is selected. Now press F5 to close. Select the MIDI track again, and now press any of the velocity pads to trigger the drum samples within the instrument.
Now it's time to record and sequence a beat. By default, the MV will be in pattern mode with a 2-measure loop already set. This can easily be changed. Let me show you how to create a simple beat in the MV-8800.
To make a beat, follow these simple steps. Select the MIDI track. Press the BPM tap button to set your tempo, then press Close. Press Record. Set a count-in if you like. The MV defaults with a 2-measure count-in. You may also want to turn the Input Quantize feature on, located toward the bottom of this same menu box. Set it to Grid, with the grid resolution at 120, which simply translates to 1/16th note quantize. Press Play, wait for the 2-measure count-in, and play the pads. Press the record button again to put the MV in rehearsal mode. This allows you to press the pads and try different sounds within the pattern as it plays in real time without recording. When you're ready to record again, simply press the flashing record button to take it out of rehearsal mode and start recording. This feature allows you to never stop the creative flow as you're making a beat.
As you can see, sequencing on the MV-8800 is pretty simple, and if you're already an MV-8000 user, you'll feel right at home. Now some of you may have an audio CD that you want to rip from. Here's how quick the MV-8800 does it.
To rip samples from an audio CD, follow these simple steps. Insert your audio CD into the CD tray. Now press the Import button. Press F1 to select the drive. Select Audio CD from the menu box and press Enter. A listing of all the tracks on your CD should appear. You can cursor up and down to select different audio tracks and press F4 to preview them. If you want to import multiple tracks at once, use the Mark On/Off feature to mark multiple tracks and then press F5 to import. I'm going to only select one file and now press F5 to import. You'll now notice the Set Time box appears. This allows you to set a specific time location within the audio track that you want to rip. This helps to save RAM memory and also cuts down on the amount of sample editing you'll have to do. Once you have your in and out time set, press F5 to execute. You should now see the result window with the waveform display of the audio you just ripped. Set your start and end points just like before. Press F3 to quick assign. In this next window, you'll see you'll have the option to either choose audio phrase, patch, or auto chop. I can use the drum loop as an audio phrase, but I'm going to use the auto chop feature by pressing F1 to create a chopped drum kit. Now press F3 to select Auto Chop again. Make sure in the Chop Type section that Level is selected. Now press F5 to execute. You'll now notice my drum loop has been chopped up into separate sample slices and mapped to the pads automatically. Now press F5 to assign to patch. Select an empty part. I'll use part 3 and press F5 to execute. Let's create a new MIDI track and assign the chopped kit to it. Press the pattern button to return to the main screen. Press Menu. Select Add MIDI Track and press Enter. The Add MIDI Track box should appear. Assign the chopped drum kit in the Output Assign section by using the cursor and value wheel. Press F5 to execute. This is very useful for remixing and is the most important creative process used by most hip-hop producers today.
Now, after all this work, you definitely do not want to lose this masterpiece. So, here's how to save your project.
To save your project, simply press the Project button, cursor over to number 4, Save Project, and press Enter. The dialog box, Save Current Project, will pop up. Press F5 to select the Yes option. Press F5 to save the project. That's it.
Well, I hope this short tutorial helped you get the basics down to creating a project, loading an instrument, sequencing a beat, sampling, and saving your project. In fact, everything I just covered can be done with greater ease and simplicity using the VGA option, which now comes stock on every MV-8800. This means you can connect any VGA computer monitor to the MV-8800 and have full visual control on a nice big color screen with mouse capability. More video tutorials will be available online that deal with specific functions of the MV-8800. Please visit RolandUS.com for more info, and if you need further assistance, remember Roland offers complimentary product support. Simply dial 323-890-3745. Thanks for watching this video tutorial and enjoy your all-new MV-8800.